So are you saying we could create a wall
Yes.
of energy?
Yes. So we're finally at a place where we can generate enough power to use directed energy lasers, microwave, accelerate the adoption of next generation technology to defend the United States. And it's drones, man. What they're doing with drones in Ukraine on both sides is just the start. You ask, like, what's the future of warfare look like? It's going to be a huge, uncrewed, unmanned thing. Star Wars, Reagan was his idea, like, we'll shoot down their missiles with lasers and stuff. That was kind of an information operation because he knew that we couldn't do that right now, but we made them think we could, so they kept spending more money and we bankrupted them. That's really what happened and how the Cold War ended. The start of the wars are going to be very, very discreet. I do think that they're probing our computer systems, our industrial control systems, this high energy microwave thing. The scientists have figured out a way to basically put up a wall of energy. Anything with an electronic circuit hits that thing, it's done.
Do we have a wall of energy around the United States?
Not yet.
Let's move into these energy weapons. Let's get into some positive stuff that we're making. So at breakfast this morning, you told me that you are consulting with some of these companies that are coming out with these energy weapons. Mm-hmm. Can you describe a little bit about what these are?
Yeah, I mean, finally, lasers and all that stuff, all that good stuff, but really it's high energy. I'm not a scientist, so I'm like an inch deep, mile wide, but that's been my life. We're finally at a place where we can generate enough power to use directed energy lasers, microwave stuff. And, I actually am in the counter drone business because small businesses, and I'm not giving a shout out to my companies, that would be lame, although I'd be happy to, text me. Because I was complaining about the military industrial complex and how we need this. It's it's easy to just talk shit, but maybe, you should do something about it. I'll fail, but I'm going to try to, accelerate the adoption of next generation technology to defend the United States. And it's drones, man. I mean, what they're doing with drones in Ukraine on both sides is just the start, right? It's going to a whole next level. You ask, what's the future of warfare look like? There's going to be a huge, uncrewed, unmanned thing. Right now, DJI drone, $2,000, send it in, send 3 of them in. Dude, we're going to a place where it's going to be $1,100 drones that are going to go in. And so the interest is, how do you destroy swarms of cheap, uncrewed, unmanned vehicles that are just swarming at you. And we're finally at a place, the laser's not the answer right now because it can't get enough shots. But this high energy microwave thing, basically, the scientists have figured out a way to basically put up a wall of energy that when anything with a microchip, an electronic circuit hits that thing, it's done, right? It's kind of like electronic EMP.
Really?
You talk about EMP on some show, haven't you?
Yeah, a couple of them.
It's essentially a mini EMP type thing that doesn't go what was that book? 1 second after, 1 day after, 1 year after, whatever. Yeah. That's a good book. So there's a way to modulate it right now and to use these weapon systems. The problem comes down to energy, right? To generate that much energy requires, in the past, would require the laser's this big and the truck that has the power generator is is 18-wheeler. Getting to the point now where you can generate power rapidly and you can pulse it out. We're not there yet, but it's a game changer.
So are you saying we could create a wall?
Yes.
Of energy?
Yes.
So could we...
Like some Harry Potter thing, man.
Do we have a wall of energy around the United States?
Not yet.
Is that coming?
It's totally within the realm of the possible.
So that
was my point about defense against offense, remember?
So these supersonic missiles that China's developing are, if we had a wall of energy are basically obsolete already.
Right. So let's go ahead and invest a lot more. Star Wars, Reagan was his idea, like we'll shoot down their missiles with lasers and stuff. That was kind of an information operation because he knew that we couldn't do that right now, but we made them think we could. So they kept spending more money and we bankrupted them. That's really what happened and how the Cold War ended. So I don't want to like overpromise, but we're on the verge of, a breakthrough with continental defense where we can protect ourselves from incoming missiles. Yes. Which is what Reagan started. So that's why I did the offense defense thing. Like the power of the defense, I think, is stronger right now. So let's stop and we need to invest correctly. And so we talked about future of war. It's not going to. There are going to be times where there are mass forces going against each other, but the start of the wars are going to be very, very discreet. They're going to be, cyber. Who knows? Maybe you said it's already started. I'm not discounting the fact that I do think that they're probing our systems, our computer systems, our industrial control systems. Absolutely, they're doing that. I think that's public knowledge, to tell you the truth. They're doing their reconnaissance phase. So that's how that shit's going to go down initially. But eventually, all that stuff's going to be, we're going to have fired all our weapons, cyber, everything else. And now it's back. What do we do now? And whoever can regenerate combat power fast enough, it's like satellites are going to get taken out, right? Oops. Satellites are going to get taken out. We're going to end up launching more satellites. Chinese will launch. Everybody will launch. And eventually, there are going to be no more satellites left because we're out of satellites. It costs a lot of money. And then it's just going to be back to the old school. And that's why the Ukrainian thing, like high tech with low tech, I think you're going to have this back and forth. But at the end of the day, it's just going to come down to duking it out. But that's a little different than the high energy weapons we were talking about. Like you need to have the ability to defend for a discrete amount of time because they're going to shoot all their stuff. And then we have to have a different plan after that.
That's incredible. I had no idea we had that technology.
It's coming. We have it for like we went out now and got one of the Leonidas systems and Epirus. I don't work for them, so I'm not getting any money for a public, shout out to them. I should be wearing I should be like a NASCAR
Damn,
guy.
I was going to go buy an energy weapon, but
I should have been like a NASCAR, an F1 driver, and just come in here with all these got Lockheed Martin. I'm like, hey, I'm going on the Shawn Ryan Show. You want me to wear your shirt?
I want a wall of energy around my home.
I'm the same way. So yeah, it's getting there. There'll be defenses against it, but we're about at the point. I'm a little down on lasers, and I'll get yelled at just because they take a lot of power, and it's not like in the movies where it's like you got to have that thing on target on a key component to burn through, and they can. I mean, the Israelis have systems that they can do it with, but I'm like, that's a good brochure, a good video. Like in the heat of combat, I'm not there yet, man. I'm like, that's really good when you're on this perfectly bright day, conditions are perfect, temperature 62 degrees, no wind, light, off to this way. Fly something directly towards me, and then the laser is like when that thing starts doing all this, I'm not convinced. I'll get some help with that. I'm sure I'll get some defense contractor going, oh, actually, we can do that. I'm not there with lasers yet.
What's power in these? How accessible is the power?
That's going to be that's the key thing is they've figured out how to generate bursts of power. And I'm not a scientist. I don't know.
Okay.
But that's the key thing is they miniaturize these things from 18-wheel trailers down to trailer, like a small trailer.
I wonder what they're pulling from.
Sorry, I'm geeking out on you.
No, I love this stuff.
Yeah, you need to get somebody in on that.
I'm trying. You got any ideas?
Yeah.
Connect me.
Yeah.
I'll get them on here.
They're not paying me either. I just,
I don't care if they are paying you. I
All
want to
right,
hear
then,
about
all
it.
right, you gave me the green light. Hey, I got an opportunity for you for
Do it.
$50,000. I can get you on the Shawn
Make some money.
No, I won't do. I would never do that, man. To you,
Make some money.
somebody else, maybe.
But well, I think that's a plus. That's some good technology that's coming out. I mean, we just had that spy. How many spy balloons just came over? You know, maybe they got zapped. Although they did come out and say that they did extract a lot of information from our military bases from it.
Oh, I bet you they had a windfall. What do you think?